ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you our singing star, Miss Kitty Reed.
Hello world, this is Miss Kitty Reed, and today on Amish Book Club we will be discussing The Amish Suitor by Joanne Brown. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments. My assistant today is Lainey, the 2010 American Girl of the Year. Harmony Creek Hollow is a new Amish community in New York. Eli Troyer has just moved there along with his nephew Kyle. Eli is Kyle's guardian after a wall fell during a fire and killed Eli's brother and his wife. Eli survived but was left with hearing loss. He is partially deaf and relies on Kyle to use improvised sign language to learn what others are saying. Eli is able to speak and respond. He avoids social events as not to draw attention to his deficits and be stuck relying on Kyle. Also living in Harmony Creek Hollow is Miriam Hartz, the sister of one of the community's founders. They live in a barn until their house is renovated. Miriam moved to Harmony Creek Hollow to leave behind a controversy. Her fiancé was a widower with a son. She was supposed to be watching the boy later in the day, but unknown to her, the boy was dropped off early. She found him almost drowning and pulled him out, but got a bad reputation as someone who was irresponsible with children. Both Miriam and Eli blame themselves for their respective life-changing incidents. Problems arise in the new community because the state claims the Amish children have not attended school for the minimum number of days. Miriam's brother negotiates to have a 4-week summer school and begs Miriam to teach. Miriam does not trust herself with children, but knows she must become a teacher for the sake of the community. Although the summer school will be held in Miriam's barn, a new schoolhouse will be built for the upcoming year. Eli is chosen to lead the planning and building, and he must work with Miriam to develop a plan that will accommodate the unique needs of teachers and students. When Eli comes over to discuss the school plans with Miriam, she offers to teach him to read lips. She has the skill after being taught to do so along with her grandmother, who went deaf as she aged. Eli makes progress with lip reading as he and Miriam grow closer, and he is able to use his abilities and feel more confident in communicating. Kyle wants to stay after school to play baseball with the other boys, but Eli wants to keep him close. Miriam tries to persuade him to let Kyle have fun, and eventually he relents, as long as Miriam is there to watch the boys. A tree falls on Eli and Kyle's house, but they are able to quickly repair it. Eli and Miriam go to a 4th of July carnival, and they kiss after watching the fireworks. Kyle begins to become upset that, since Eli can communicate better using lip reading, Eli doesn't need him anymore. Miriam is able to console him. The Amish community is excited to finish the new schoolhouse and move the summer school class into it. One day, while playing baseball, there is a sudden thunderstorm. While calling the boys inside, Miriam sees Kyle run after a ball into the path of a speeding car. She races after him and saves him seconds before potential impact. Then the storm intensifies. Eli, arriving to pick up Kyle, helps the children and Miriam to hide in the storage closet. The school survives the storm and everyone is safe, but Eli is angry at Miriam for not watching Kyle more carefully when playing outside. Eli remains upset at Miriam for days, but Kyle thinks Eli is mad at him. Kyle wants to buy Eli a tool at the hardware store to make up with him, and Miriam agrees to take him to town after school. While at the hardware store, men rob the store at gunpoint. Eli, who is a volunteer fireman, is paged to the scene. He tries to sneak into the store. Kyle tries to divert the robbers' attention so they can escape, but the robbers prepare to shoot Kyle. Miriam jumps in front of him, but the gun jams and they are able to escape. Eli, Miriam, and Kyle joyfully reunite, and Eli and Miriam kiss. Miriam goes to tell Eli about the incident with her fiancé's son, but Eli says she did nothing wrong, having learned the truth. Miriam's fiancé was cheating on her and dropped off his son without telling Miriam the day he almost drowned. Eli proposes and Miriam accepts. The end. This book was enjoyable. The characters were interesting, and it was nice to see how Eli and Miriam had to overcome their past to embrace the future. It was interesting to see the dynamics of setting up a new Amish community. There are so many decisions to work through, and one scene where there is a debate on what type of buggy to use shows the level of planning required to form a settlement based on such high levels of conformity. I appreciated having Eli as a disabled romance protagonist. Absent was the tired old plot of having to overcome the disability with the power of love. Instead, lip reading is a way to improve Eli's communication and a unique way for Miriam and Eli to bond. The book also makes sure to stress that lip reading will not enable Eli to understand all spoken words, but will help him in that area. There's nothing really wrong with this book, but I didn't care for the fact that several plot points are used for the same purpose. I instantly knew when it was said that Miriam didn't trust herself around children that something would happen to Kyle and Eli would get angry. There will have to be a resolution where Miriam proves herself to Eli. But this book has 3 plot points do the job instead of just one. We have Kyle running out into the road, the thunderstorm at the school, and the armed robbery. All 3 serve to upset Eli. All 3 put Kyle's safety at risk. All 3 put Miriam in direct responsibility for Kyle. Why did we need to have all 3 when one could have done the job? Also, armed robbery, that seems too much. This isn't a soap opera, and it wasn't the kind of book where you would expect a random armed robbery to serve as the climax. Now, that doesn't mean the book was bad, just redundant. I will give this book a 5 out of 7. It was okay. There was nothing truly spectacular, but it was fine to read. Our next book will be A Merry Heart by Wanda Brunstetter. Please check with your local library to see if they have it on the shelves. If not, I am sure they would be happy to get it for you through interlibrary loan. Lainey would like to remind all of you out there on the Information Superhighway to share your opinions in the comments and look at the video description for important links. This has been Amish Book Club with Miss Kitty Reed. This is Miss Kitty Reed and Lainey signing off. See you later on Amish Book Club.
Living in the rhythm that I'm speaking of. You'll be happy in your work if you're in love.